Good afternoon. I'm here with our Director of Student Services, Megan Baker Rivet. Do you go by Baker Rivet or just Rivet?
I usually go by Rivet, but technically it is Baker Rivet.
It is technically.
It is, yes.
But I have not used that when
No.
I've addressed you. It's always Mrs. Rivet.
That's fine.
Okay. So you've been in this position as Director of Student Services for
This is my 4th year.
4th year. What did you do before that?
I was the principal at Taylor High School for 2 years.
Uh-huh.
And then my first year here, I was the assistant principal of Taylor High School, which was then grades 7 through 12.
7, 12. I
Yeah.
see. And your undergraduate degree
From Miami University,
Ah.
social studies. So I was a social studies teacher prior to coming into administration at Finneytown High School.
And then you did a graduate degree, I'm assuming, at...
Xavier University
Xavier.
in special education.
Ah,
And then I went back to UC. I wanted to hit all the universities
Sure.
and got my administrative degree.
good.
Yeah.
So this has prepared you for your current job.
Absolutely.
So then the next question a lot of people would ask is, what does the Director of Student Services do? And so I kind of wanted to know that too when I first came here.
Yeah.
And it's like IEPs, child find, alternative assessment, extended school year, behavioral therapy support, IEP transportation, standardized test accommodations, homebound instruction, autism, John Peterson scholarship intervention programs, out of district placement, extended standards, assistive technology, preschool director, step up, quality and preschool state licensing, managed contract services through HCESC, and that's about 20%.
And what does that mean?
Right, and so let's talk a little bit about that in terms of the various roles. You wear so many different hats. So why do you like this job? It just seems like you might get spread so thin.
I love this job. I loved being the high school principal, but this job allows me to impact grades pre-K-12 versus just grades 9 through 12 and get to work with staff at every single level. So with special education, obviously I work with students on individual education plans and students on 504 accommodations plans, which puts me in super close contact with our school psychologists all the time, our therapists, our occupational therapists, physical therapists, and speech therapists, and working with everybody in that realm. So I just really enjoy it because, again, it gives me a leadership position, but I'm still working closely with families and staff.
Right. So usually when I talk to somebody who has this kind of responsibility, there is a moment or a reason for why you went into this field, right? Because it's serving the needs of our kids
Right.
who have various challenges.
Absolutely.
You have to be passionate about it. So what prompted you to kind of focus in on this area?
I would say my first year out of undergrad, I was a building sub at a local high school. And in that role, I did a lot of subbing in resource rooms and various co-taught rooms where I kind of saw, because before I didn't really know what an intervention specialist did. I wanted to be a history teacher, and that's just what I went for. And so when I saw that, I'm like, I really like this piece. And so that's when I decided to go back for my master's in special education. And then as I was teaching history, once I got a full-time history job, I always taught classes with co-taught teachers, and I enjoyed that aspect as well. One of my core foundations is servant leadership. I love serving people. I am here to make your life easier. And in special education, no one's life is easy. Intervention specialists, school psychologists, everyone has so much going on. And to me, I love being an assistance and a resource and to be here for them.
Nice, and you did it very well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So other than that aspect of the job, what is something that you wish people knew about your job that maybe they just don't? Something that you do that's, kind of goes under the radar, but it's kind of cool.
It goes under the radar. I don't know if it's kind of cool. No. A lot of my job is compliance, and a lot of it has to do with funding. And so, one of my big things is using our taxpayers' dollars and our federal government's dollars in the best way possible and get the most bang for your buck. And so a big part of my job is, I have a very large budget because of all the different services our kids need. And so it's doing the catastrophic filing and excess cost filing is when I go back to the state and prove what we have spent so we can get those dollars back into our general fund. A lot of what I do is state compliance, and so if we wouldn't do it, it would show up on report cards or that. So it's making sure that we are checking all the boxes for the state so we can maximize our funding so our kids get the best education that we can provide.
Yeah, it's really important. That's a good aspect of the job. And it's not always glamorous. It's kind of like an umpire in baseball, right? If you're doing a good job, nobody notices. But if those things fell off the table,
they would notice.
We would be in big hurt too, financially. So that was a good answer. I will make sure that the board takes note of that. Saving dollars it's a good thing. But what word on the street, word on North Miami is that you're tailor-made.
I am.
You're a Taylor grad. So what do you think makes Three Rivers so unique? Because you've got a lot of perspective here, right?
I do. Yes. So I obviously was a student here. My siblings and my parents went to Taylor High School. My parents still live in the district, as does my brother. And so I have nieces a niece in the building. And so I have a perspective. Obviously, I've been a teacher, I've been a principal, and now I'm at the central office. And I love Three Rivers because it feels like family. I've been in many other districts where you come in, you do your job, and you go, but the family aspect and the history that everyone has. And I just love that. I love history. I was a history teacher, so is Dr. Ault. And I love that about our community. William Henry Harrison, just the different aspects of our community and the history that is here is very unique.
And you know this as well as I do. You can leave, and when you come back, you just feel like you've picked the pieces right.
Absolutely.
People will just welcome you back with open arms.
Yeah, I left in 01 and came back in 14, and it's crazy.
Yeah. We're glad you're here, that's for sure. So I have a couple of one-word quick answers.
Okay.
And this is about your TR experience, not necessarily about, you can see her. And then it's got an all other duties as assigned. So she's got quite a big, important job. So I appreciate your time today.
Yeah.
Some quick questions here for you. One-word answers, Falcons or Yellow Jackets?
Falcons.
Nice, yes. Miami Heights, CT Young, or Hitchens?
Hitchens and Miami Heights.
Wow.
Hitchens, kindergarten, Miami Heights, 1 through 5.
Class of 2001 or class of 2000? Not that we want to date you or anything.
2001 had more fun. That was our tagline.
What about Old Taylor versus New Taylor?
Old Taylor.
Old Taylor. What about yellow and black or yellow and brown?
Gold and brown.
Oh, sorry.
Gold
and brown.
Yes.
She's a traditionalist here. Favorite teacher?
Oh, goodness. I can't say that. Some are still in the building.
Oh, I set you up, didn't I?
You did.
What about favorite principal?
Well, Mr. Ault.
Oh,
There
good
you go.
answer. Yay! We're done. Nothing else to say.